live. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning,
beautifuls. Can you hear me? Great. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Hello, welcome. Go ahead and unmute yourselves and give a good morning and a Yahoo. Make sure we can hear you.
Morning, Serena.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, embodied entrepreneurs. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, hi.
Whoop, whoop. And then go ahead and mute yourselves and close all the windows and doors that you have open. Turn off your phone or put it on airplane, because today is a beefy call. I'm going to put mine on airplane. Okay. Welcome, welcome to our March training call. We are here to learn about digital marketing, which is another fancy way of saying online marketing, which is another fancy way of sharing that today we're going to share with you different ways to broaden your reach. And let me just make Megan a co-host. And Claire co-host. I have so much support today. God, I can't say enough about having women by your side. Such a way to breathe easier. Just getting this set up. Be patient, please. I almost made Rachel Cooley my co-host once again. I just like tapping on Rachel Cooley, I guess. Hopefully I've been able to make 2 co-hosts. Yes, I have. Excellent. Ladies, we have the one and only Claire and the one and only Megan here to support us today on this beefy call. And before we dive into announcements, which is going to happen next, I want to share with you something really important, especially on this call today. And that is how to stay out of overwhelm. When we begin to start planning to reach people beyond our local market, into the ethers, so to say, we start, Claire, will you clean up the lines for me, love? We start to get into overwhelm about all the things that we need to do. And one of my very first mentors helped me with a very, very simple plan, which is called reverse engineering. And it's a basic step-by-step way to plan in reverse. Because planning forward often feels really overwhelming because you're here and you want to go there and you're looking at all the things that you have to do. And whenever we get into that kind of timeline situation, we start to panic because we're putting pressure on ourselves. So one of the ways to stay out of that is to reverse engineer. So when you're making your to-do list, when you're launching your plan, to start with what you want and an actual date when you want it. So if you're planning to launch a program and you want it filled by March 9th, March 9th is the first thing at the top of your list. And then you'll work backwards towards today. What is the one simple step I need to do today to move me closer to March 9th? And as you plot backwards all the things that you need to do, you'll begin to see what you need to do today, the support you need today, how you need to get busy today, and how you can step yourself assuredly one step at a time towards your goal. Make sense? Awesome. Great. So that's my first tip. Claire, we have some announcements that we want to jump into before we dive into the call. What do you got, love?
Yes, we do. So we are so excited, and we know that you have been working so hard on the Bring a Friend game, and we're almost there. We've got 150 to the group goal, and we're at 138.
150. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, we need to get to 150, and we're at 138. So as of a couple days ago. So keep working at it. Totally. And then as far as the event, we have 2 volunteer spots that are so valuable to be staff at Women Rocking Business Live. Volunteering is such an incredible way to start to learn how the guts, like the inside of what an event is like. And I know I started off volunteering at events. Serena has, Megan has. Follow the steps of greatness. It's a really great opportunity to understand what it's like to hold a big event. And we also have a couple more VIP mail passes available just for you guys, for clients. It's a discounted rate of $147. The regular rate is $247. And if you missed it, click the link to upgrade in your events tab in the membership forum. So grab those.
Thank you. Thank you. What's the advantage of staffing an event?
Wow.
Anyone have an idea? What's the advantage of staffing an event? Yeah, Sarah, what's your input on that? I got you.
There we go. I've staffed a lot of events, and I think it really is an amazing opportunity to get an idea of what it takes to put on an event, and the thinking that's going on in your mind while you plan all these things that you do, and then like being able to deal with something that's going wrong and we've got to fix it fast, that nimbleness that you have to have.
Yeah.
All the pieces of video and meals, I mean, all of that I've done, and I'm wishing I felt like I had time to do this time, because it really, really, really is. I mean, I've done it probably 30 times in another organization, and I know that it helped me so much. It also helps you when you come into staff. Most of the staff that you will have probably is like the ones I've worked with, which are leaders of their own businesses, and they think they know how to do everything. And to get them in a position where actually right now you are the person that's having to take orders and have to let somebody else lead you for a while, can be a really life-changing experience and really help them to learn how to lead their own teams. Because you've got to be able to lead a team if you're going to be able to do this kind of stuff. You can't just do it by yourself.
So good. Thank you for pointing out all those little nuggets. Big kiss for you.
It's good to see you guys.
Is there anyone on the call today that feels like they're leaning in that direction, that they want to get the extra learning and they want to work on a team of leaders who are making decisions and being nimble? Merritt's got a hand up. Awesome. Great. Awesome. I know it's a time commitment. You need to invest and come early, but it's such a big payoff. Thank you, Mart. Will you contact Sylvia for that? Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's dive in, ladies. Congratulations and welcome to the call. We have the one and only Megan Neely here today. So excited to have Megan, and I want to share why she has become an expert in digital marketing. It's not because she learned this from her grandmother. It's not that she just sat around like osmosising it from the universe. I had the great fortune of actually living with Megan for the last, I think, 4 months, and I actually watched her. I watched her implement the strategies that she's learning from stage to fill her practice. And I want to tell you, it wasn't easy. It was a step-by-step, day after day. I'm not going to give up until I've done every strategy till she filled her program. And I can also tell you that Megan is a human being like the rest of us. She has her days where she feels good. She has her days when she doesn't feel good. And I watched her step by step go through the plan and actually fill her program. So Megan, congratulations for filling your program. Thank you for being here to help train us and inspire us that we can be ourselves and we can really get what we want. Welcome to the call.
Thank you so much, Serena. I'm so glad to be here with all of you, because I know that digital marketing, online marketing can feel like this foreign language at first. And I'm really committed to supporting all of you today to see how it really is, just like Serena said, a step-by-step process that we get to walk through. We have this privilege of having all the maps that have been created through the wisdom of Women Rocking Business and all of Sage's years of experience. And that's why we have so many juicy handouts for you today, so that you have these maps you can follow. And these are all the same tools that I completely leaned into to fill my own programs for the last 3 years. So I'm excited to get to support you today.
Yeah. And one more thing I wanted to add, ladies, before we roll into our first handout, is that while these strategies of online marketing are super important if you want to have a wider reach, this is really foreshadowing what's coming for you. It is still 30 times faster to grow your business through speaking engagements and one-on-one conversations. The basics of your building your business is still going to convert faster when you're one-on-one with people. And right, digital is a step removed. So what we really want to be doing is foreshadowing for all of you who are going into leverage and continuing to build your businesses, that this is like the next step for your reach. But for all of you who are still getting your speaking engagements on the calendar and mastering the grow conversation, that's the perfect place for you to be, okay? Awesome. Got some head nods. We're like, oh, I don't know. No worries. So Megan, will you lead us into this first handout? And I am going to see if I can, I'm going to screen share it while you go over it.
Screen share, perfect. Yes, and Serena just started off beautifully by highlighting the importance of focusing on your local speaking engagements, focusing on in-person, what you're offering in person, because this is really the number one thing that we want to focus on is your lead generation.
It looks like
a little feedback on the line.
Claire's on it.
Claire, thanks, Claire. So for lead generation, your focus is still in person. Just because you may have online components like Facebook groups and landing pages and your opt-in gifts and these things that we're going to go into in more detail, the main focus is generating leads through speaking. So speaking locally, speaking at other people's events, hosting your own events, speaking to your own meetup group, or getting invited to other people's meetup groups. And Serena, I'm just seeing that if you could put it back to the handout.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are on my screen.
It's the screen sharing thing. We have notes. We haven't memorized everything.
Well, good job.
Yes.
Carry on, expert.
With screen sharing. Yep. So with the lead generation piece, we are focusing on local. So you start there with your speaking engagements, and then you can add in pieces like Facebook Lives, where you're still offering discovery sessions, which require your one-on-one personal time. You have your free gifts online and social media sharing, your Facebook pages and Facebook groups. And we're going to talk a little later about the benefits of both of those, why you would have a Facebook fan page versus a Facebook group page. And then having Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of these pieces are so important to helping you grow. And you don't have to have every single one of them in place all at once. So the main thing is to pick a few of these components that you are doing regularly. So definitely, like Serena was saying, recommending the live speaking component. That is essential. And then adding in what are at least a couple others that you're really committed to doing, like regular Facebook Lives, having your online gifts. And I know, actually, I will talk about a little bit right now, the benefits of Facebook Live versus, or Facebook pages versus groups as well. So we get asked this question a lot of which one is important. And we do recommend that you have both avenues, because when you have a Facebook group, you're able to create more of a community, and you're able to speak to people who've essentially opted in to follow that page and get notifications about when you've gone live on that page or when you've shared things in your Facebook group. But a Facebook fan page is where you're able to run ads. And this is where you're going to get more visibility. You're going to be able to reach a wider audience. And then you can invite those people into your Facebook group. So recommending having both of those. But when you're doing your Facebook Lives, we recommend that you focus first on having them on your Facebook page, your fan page, so that you can create ads out of those. And Serena, do you want to talk a little bit about list building?
Sure. but I can't see my script. So I have to go back over there.
We'll go back and forth.
That's so funny. Okay. Dun, da, da, da.
So we're going to have you brainstorm a little bit about your own list building strategies.
So we've talked about this before, ladies. Some of this is review. List building is the opportunity for you to build your email list, right? It's another way to contact people directly. We're not recommending you sell through your email list, but having one is really key. And most of you are going to build your email list through people and contacts that you meet who are interested about the work you're doing, the workshops you're doing, and so on. Another way to build your list, one of the key ways to build your list is through offering a free gift. And what we've seen is free gifts on your splash page, on your web page, really convert really high. People like free things, right? You meet someone at a workshop, they're like, what do you do? You send them to your splash page and they can download a blueprint or a checklist or an ebook, something really simple. Now, ladies, don't get overwhelmed by an ebook needing to be 30 pages of content. It's too much. People like quick and easy, down and dirty, checklist with 10 things, five simple keys, something like that. Big audio files, people don't download those. Those used to be really hot in the before times. People would do like meditations and you could have a free meditation, but people just don't respond that way. So something quick and easy is what a free gift on your splash page will help you do, is build your list. Because once someone opts in for that free gift, now you have their email and you can let them know what you're up to. You can send them free content. And most importantly, you can continue to build a relationship with these people who now have something of yours that you find valuable that can help them with their problem, and they can stay connected to you. The thing we don't recommend are quizzes. Unless you're really getting support on the back end with your technology and you are having a stream of emails follow up those quizzes. Because obviously if someone takes a quiz, as you've seen on Sage's page, what kind of leader am I is the big quiz that we did, right? You need results coming back to your clients, you need a follow-up email, and you need to let them know what's next. And those are about 3 or 4 technical steps, which you can totally do if you're ready for that. But just know that there's a lot more planning for that. Dun, da, da, da. Connection is currency, isn't it, Megan?
Yes, absolutely. And when you build a relationship with your clients, whether it's through those kind of follow-up emails or through speaking with them in your Facebook groups, these are all ways that you're starting to build the connection and create the possibility for currency. And just as Serena was talking about how I walked through step by step through my launch and definitely had hard days and good days, this is one of the things I want to speak to, is that it can take years of building connection with people before they're ready to buy. So if you have a launch and someone isn't ready to buy off of your first live stream, your first webinar, that's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. I've had people invest after 2 or 3 years of saying that they've been watching all my live streams and reading all the emails, but they never even commented once. So I just want to speak to that your longevity and your consistency in building this relationship is what's going to make the biggest difference. And so we're going to talk about a few ways that you can build this relationship and build the connection. One of the ways is through having a webinar, free webinar or live stream. Facebook Lives is a great example. And if you don't love being on camera, remember, you don't have to be just you speaking live on Facebook Live or on a webinar live stream. You can do this with a slide sharing. So the traditional webinar model where you're sharing slides and you're just the voice that's speaking behind the camera. So that can be a great option for those of you who really like slides and you feel way more comfortable sharing that than you would talking. I'm kind of the opposite. I would rather never create a slide in my life and just talk. And so that was the way that I started to engage and connect with people. So you've got to find out what's true for you. And having weekly videos and Facebook Lives, if you do like just speaking that way, can be an easy way to build the connection, because people start to trust you and you feel like they're getting to know you. And a few tips that I could give you to get started with Facebook Live is really about showing up. The main one would be showing up consistently. So one of the women who you're going to see sharing, she's in Leverage, Sophia Tom, and she's going to be sharing at Women Rocking Business Live. I've seen her do Facebook Lives every week into her community, and she filled her group program because those women were watching her every week, and they were gathering together to learn from her for an hour every week over the course of a year. That was her main strategy for filling her group. And so we see these strategies working all the time, but it does require consistency. And the other piece that I would say about Facebook Live is you don't have to just get on and create the topics yourself. One of the ways I've seen it work for Sophia and other clients is by asking, doing a question, a post on their Facebook pages saying, what do you want to learn about? And getting a list of those topics and then engaging the participation of their audience. So you don't have to come up with all the topics. You can ask, what do you want to hear about? So these are a little faster builds, webinars, Facebook Lives. Slower builds are podcasts and YouTube channel. So podcasts are amazing because you get to be inside someone's head. If you think about this, any of you who listen to podcasts, you might be grocery shopping and listening to a podcast, or making dinner and listening to a podcast. And that person is literally talking into your ear. You start to feel this connection with this person. You feel like you know them. It's really intimate. So that's a benefit of that. And the same thing with the YouTube channel of getting to watch a video of somebody that is just sharing personally, or they're offering interviews. It doesn't build an immediate audience, but people are either listening or watching for entertainment, and they're not necessarily going to take you up on offers right away. So Facebook Lives, webinars, they're going to lean in more for the offer. Podcasts and YouTube channels are more about building your audience over time. So those of you who feel like you want to create more of a movement and you know you're devoted to that, you could start offering those and just know that that's going to be a longer build. Interviews with experts, you can bring those on to any of these ways that we've talked about: podcasts, YouTube, live streams, weekly videos. Don't just go on yourself. You can collaborate with somebody else and bring on an expert. And can anyone say why would you bring on an expert rather than just doing it all yourself? What would be the benefit of that? Just go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me.
Because then
other things to offer.
Jill?
And you get a farther reach that way usually, because the person that you're interviewing will share. Put it out.
Exactly. That's exactly it, Jill. So further reach. You're getting outside of your own reach, and you're starting to connect with this wider audience. So that makes a big difference. Another way to build relationship is through weekly or monthly newsletters. Again, this is about consistency and really nurturing your list. The best thing to email or blog about, if you're creating a blog on your site and sending out messages to direct people to read a blog, is really what's true for you now. How can you connect with people on a really personal level of what you're up to, what you're creating, and letting them in to know you. So this is great for those of you who love writing and feel more comfortable with that avenue than being on video or audio. And again, consistency is key. Incentives and free gifts are another way to build that relationship. So when you offer a free gift, a free opt-in gift on a thank you page for the free gift, be sure to offer them something else, like joining your Facebook group or hopping into a webinar or joining a free video training. So you have those next steps for them. And the last one that I want to mention is free live events like Women Rocking Business Live. This is the best way for you to create connection. When you're in person, there's nothing else that would replace that kind of connection and depth that happens in the live room. So doing those regularly is also key, like having an annual larger event or a monthly meetup group. Serena, do you want to talk about step 2?
Step 2, Sales, sales, sales. So as we talk about all these different ways of creating warm leads so people can get to know you and build your list, there's one simple thing that you're going to be doing with all of them, which is moving them towards a grow conversation. The mother skill of getting someone to get in touch with, right, their goals, what's in the way, an option, and an offer. So what we want you to consider, ladies, is when you are implementing these different strategies is to really use the grow model everywhere, in emails, videos, webinars. It doesn't matter. When you are speaking to what your ideal client wants in your copy or to the camera, and then you're speaking to the things that get in the way from them having that, you're in the grow conversation. And you don't actually have to be sitting down with one person to entertain or to use that structure. It's a beautiful way to build your private mentorship programs and to fill your group programs. We don't recommend in any of these forms that you're actually making a paid offer. We're not saying in your emails and the webinars and so on that you are actually saying my program is $697 a month for 6 months with a $300 deposit. We're not suggesting you make offers virtually at all. We really want you to save that part of the grow conversation for when you're in a one-on-one conversation where you can really address people's money issues. Now, once you have had that grow conversation one-on-one, the next step is actually fulfillment. How do you fulfill when someone says, how do you fulfill? We all need to fulfill, right? When someone's bought a program from us, the most important thing to do is to give them their money's worth, right? Really to show up in an integrity and give them what they you promised and what they said they wanted. And here is just a short list on how to help do a really good job on fulfillment. So the number one thing is deliver an amazing program. Put your heart and soul into the program that you're offering them. And always in that first session, whether it's on a call or in person, set the context of what they're stepping into. Congratulate them and let them know that they are there because they want something. This is what gets in their way. And this program is going to help close the gap. You want to create winnable action steps and community acknowledgement in those first 30 days of your program. So it's good to keep reiterating in those first 30 days what your clients need to do to actually succeed. And acknowledging them in the community if you're doing a group program, or acknowledging them one-on-one, that they're facing their fears, that they're not giving into their resistance, is going to help bolster their confidence and help them trust themselves in you. Sage always says that fulfillment is about over-delivering. And what she means by that is not taking on responsibility for her client's results. That's not over-delivery. When she speaks about over-delivery, she's speaking about the place where you see your clients struggling and you create an action step for them. You create a handout for them. You create some kind of video training for them to help them get through that place you know they're going to stumble. It's like you're foreshadowing and putting steps out for them so that they can cross their greatest obstacle. And that's what she means by over-deliver. So staying really attuned to your clients and what they struggle with and giving them everything that they need so they can step up and take action. This is really key if you're in the healthcare profession. This is really key if you're helping people build their business, right? You know what people, what stops them. And so consider creating baby steps for them. Bonuses can also be another way to really support people feeling like they are being fulfilled in your program, right? And bonuses can be things that you have created in the past that you're repurposing for your clients. So as Megan was talking about, if you are doing Facebook Lives and you have done the one and it's addressed a certain issue that you know one of your clients is struggling with, repurpose that. Send them that link and ask them to listen to that Facebook Live before they jump on their next call, before they speak in public again, whatever it is. So repurposing and giving them bonuses makes them feel like, wow, you as a coach are just like a wealth of knowledge. You've been through the things that they've gone through, and you're just, that feeling of generosity will help them feel fulfilled without leaving you completely depleted. Now, ladies, if you don't have bonuses and free gifts because this is your first season as a coach, that's okay. But what we recommend is documenting this first year of your program or the first 3 months of your program, all the tips and tricks and things that you're doing, and document those and keep those in a library. And soon you will have a fat library, like the ELA library. You can bet that the ELA library did not have all these handouts the first year. A lot of them were generated by the need of our clients, the questions the repeated questions our clients had. That's how our library got fat. And we paid attention and we created things for them. And that's what we're recommending you do. Begin to build your library based on your clients' aches and pains, not on what you think they want, but what they say they want. Another way that especially women like to, what women like to do is to gather and have transformative experiences. And some of us are junkies about that, right? Get together and release our limiting beliefs. So live events can be really fulfilling for our clients. And, you can also consider a live event being a 2-hour or a 4-hour or a half-day experience. It doesn't have to be a 3-day run out the Coconut Grove experience, right? It can be very intimate. It can be very personal. It can be very sacred. And when people are in that space with you where you create a live event, it can be really, it can glue them to you in a particular way where they're just like, that's my mentor. If you don't have a group, how do you have a live event? Just wrangle all your private clients into one place because they have something in common. They're learning something very special and similar to you, even though they're all in different places. Bring them all together for a live event, and that can create a lot of continuity. Some of the questions that have been coming up in my private coaching sessions are questions about client retention and renewals. What happens when clients say yes, and then a few weeks or a few months into my program, something happens in their life and they have to bow out? Megan, would you speak to this really common occurrence?
Yes, and I'm so glad that you're speaking to this, Serena, because this was a shock to me. When I enrolled my first group, I hadn't heard anyone speak about client retention and renewals. I honestly, naively thought that once they were enrolled, they were mine for a year because it was a year-long program and everyone was going to stay in, right? How many of you have had an experience of having a client enroll and then they've changed their mind? Wow, yeah, I'm not alone. No one. So we want to speak to that a little bit because this is really your opportunity to re-enroll your clients and re-energize them. And the first thing is about really getting them excited about where they're going. So review and outline the components of your program and where they're headed, because they might be in a spot right now that just doesn't feel very expansive and they're not in tune with the possibility of what they're creating. So can you show them the possibility? Can you show them where you see them potentially going if they stay with you? And also specifically showing them their next step. So it's not about telling them, in 12 months, this is where you're going to be, so much as here's the next step that you can take to move towards your goal. So when you're in the grow conversation and you've heard their goals and you've heard their big vision, writing those things down, documenting them, remembering them so that you can bring these back into conversation with them. Like, I know you said you wanted this, and I get that it's not happening as fast as you wanted it to, but I'm curious if you're still wanting this, if this is still true for you. And if it is, then you can help show them what the next step would be to keep them going in that direction. And if it's not what's true for them now, then you get clear together on what their big goal is and what the next step is they can take with you to move towards it. And so the key is that they're moving with you and that you're in this together. So you're showing them how you're going to do this together. And one way you can do this is by starting every session by letting clients know where they are on your map of possibility, what you're seeing for them in the program, and where you're going to go together. Let them know what you see next for them, what you think that they need more of. So this is a way of giving them some feedback that's really constructive. And when you let them know what you're seeing for them, they're seeing you as the mentor, as the guide who's got them by the hand, who's walking along with them. And you're not just showing up saying, like, oh, I'm here for whatever you need today. They'll start to think, well, I don't know. I'm not sure what I need. How can you step into your leadership by letting them know, here's what I see for you. Here are some blind spots, and let's work on these together. One of the ways that you can really support client retention is by having special events like VIP days, whether it's virtual or in person, hosting retreats like Serena was speaking to, the magic of bonding, especially for women, getting together, being in person, and then offering also some private services or done for you services, things that you can do with them that if you have a group program and then you offer them some bonus, some one-on-one time with you, that's going to make a big difference as well. So these are a few things that we know really helps for client retention. And also knowing that for this piece about client renewal, I've had the experience over the last few years of having at least half of my clients renew for another year with me. So just thinking about the ones that you're already working with now, they may not be done at the end of your program. They could be some of your absolute best clients for a next round. And it's so much easier to renew a contract and continue working with them than go out and find all new people.
Especially, right, Megan, when you're with a client for a year, you know what stops them.
Yes.
You're already inside their psyche, and you can really premise that when a program ends to your clients, share with them, right, how well you know them and how that would really benefit them if they stayed with you a bit longer, because if they don't, they're going off and starting a whole nother relationship. It's going to take time for them to dive in. So I saw a hand go up, and I just want to take a pause here for any questions about what we've covered so far, or whatever baby step you're facing right now. I see Sherry, you have your hand up. How can we support you today?
Hi, I have a question about the client that signed up and then freaked out and unsigned up. I work with a lot of people that have to clear trauma, and they have to really be ready to do that. And this girl is on that teetering spot. And so I've had to kind of kiss her off, but not let her go totally, because I have to give her that space. So I can't call her again right now and have that conversation. I just can't. She's too raw. So how far do I go with pushing? The only way I can really contact her at this point is through email.
Yeah.
So how do I proceed with that and still honor her need for that space?
Yeah. Beautiful question, Sherry.
Thank you.
How many of you are working with people with trauma? How common is that? Yeah, a handful. Okay, awesome. So one of the major things, as you're pointing out, Sherry, is people who have experienced trauma, they need a lot of safety. A lot of safety. They don't trust easily. Any kind of pushing or forcing spooks them. So your intuition is right on. What people with trauma also respond to really well is a safe place, right? And knowing what the future is going to bring. So what I recommend when you're having those conversations, say you have a grow conversation, and your client's like, I just need time. No problem. But what I recommend is you make a date on the calendar to talk to them again and let them choose a month from now, 6 weeks from now.
She had actually signed up, and then she emailed me and told me I just can't do this. And she was really in the I need to not talk about it anymore state. And I sent her.
So you followed up with her, and
I did follow up after that as well.
She responded, no, thank you. So Sherry, no matter who our clients are, if they're a solid no, that is the end of that round of conversation with them.
Right.
Because
so then when do I follow up again, and how do I do that is my question.
Yeah, great. And I'm answering for the whole group, so that I'm putting some stuff in here so everyone can learn, but I really appreciate what you're saying. The Grow conversation is about getting a yes or a no. That's really what it's about. It's not continuing to push our program at anyone. So if you get a no, it's a solid no, then what we recommend is you take their email or their contact and you put it into your list. If that's your email list, if that's your Facebook group, that's where you put them to stay in contact with them. Like Megan was saying, you may never know how long they're going to follow you after that until they say yes again. But that's their choice, not yours. Okay?
Mhm.
That make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Awesome. You're so welcome. It's a really, really great question. Let's give you a kiss. Sarah, let's go to you and then we'll come back to Marit when you settle in. Sarah, what you got?
Well, it's really clear to me that what would be a good step forward is to start actually saying in my videos, you can talk to me, you can book a session. You know, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. And I probably could, right? So it would maybe be a good idea, but I feel like I need a little more structure around.
No. No.
All right, I need a structure.
No.
Is there an example of somebody who does a really good job of that you can maybe point me to? But I mean,
So this is what I'm going to point you to, love.
Hmm.
Two things. One is you have, what I know of you is you have real time constraints. There's limited time where you can talk to people.
Yes.
So put that up front in your videos. Let people know, I have limited spots. If you want to talk to me, this is how you do it. And Sarah, you are in control of your schedule. If you only have 2 hours a week, that's Monday from 2 to 4, so be it. It's going to come across to other people as that your time is valuable. And the people that want you will rearrange their schedule for those 2 hours. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, the Grow conversation is the only thing you're doing when you talk to people. That is what you're doing. When you get on the phone with them, that's the structure you think you're looking for outside of. It's just you practicing, right? It's all of you practicing the Grow conversation. One of the most edgy, sweaty things that you have to do in having a business is the Grow conversation. Raise your hand if you love Grow conversation. You're like, yeah, give it to me. I love being in there. I hope someone gives me a yes or a no. There's some people in there, oh yeah. But the rest of us are like, no, I'd rather die. Okay, so everyone take a big breath. I'm being dramatic. But I'm guessing, Sarah, that there's some fear in there around having a Grow conversation, that you don't know how to do it, or you're not an expert yet.
It could be that, but I also just think, you're just not asking this because you don't feel like you're giving enough value yet that anybody would actually want a conversation. And when I look
that's really good. That's really good, Sarah. You can prejudge yourself for not having anything of any of value. Oh, that's good. How many of you do that one?
Good. I'm not alone.
No. This is like a threshold moment, Sarah, and it's going to happen to every one of you ladies. And it's one of those cart before the horse things. How do you know you have something of value until someone gives you money for it? You don't. It's actually the exchange of what you have for a financial agreement that actually shifts that paradigm. So you're going into the Grow conversation absolutely naturally. I don't know if this is of any value. As soon as someone says yes and puts money in your hand, you start to go, what?
Well, and as soon as someone says yes and books a Grow conversation, I mean, that'll be a part of that for me anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what it is. I'm leaving it up to them by saying at an end of a video, if you'd like to talk to me some more, here's the link, in some way. I'm not doing that because if I do that, nobody clicks the link, then I'm like, but when they do click the link, it's going to be, oh, someone said yes to me.
Yes.
I feel really good, so I better go and do it.
Yes.
Because I'm not. And I know you've taught me that, but I'm still not doing it. So,
Sarah, it just reminds me of that saying, like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Right? It can feel safe when we don't take the shot, when we don't put ourselves out there and say, oh, do you want to take up a session? Oh, no one took a session. If we don't put it out there, we think, oh, well, it's okay. I didn't put it out there. If I had, I would have had 10 people sign up. So I just encourage you all to stop playing that game and start taking the shots.
Yep. Okay, so there'll be one this week somewhere.
I heard that.
Yeah.
There, I'm going to be looking for it. I'd love to hold you accountable to posting on Facebook that you did the first baby step. You put the link on, you let people know they can talk to you, and you have a finite number of hours that you'll speak with them.
Okay, I'll post it.
Excellent. You're a brave cookie. Let's give you a big kiss. Mwah. I love how Sarah continues to show her vulnerability and her strength in the same action. Marit, what you got?
Thank you for letting me settle in. It's been a long day. I'm getting comfortable, so I can listen better.
Awesome. So please just get to the heart of the matter. What's your question for the other ladies who are waiting in the wings? What's the thing that you want to know?
Yeah, right on it. What do I do when I hold a signature talk and I offer my discovery sessions, but I'm asked for the price of my program? Mm-hmm. So I didn't intend to sell the program right away, but I've been asked. What do I do?
Megan, you want to answer that one?
Sure. Yeah, what a great question. This is going to happen to all of you. People want to know the price first, and they want to know the price because they want to be able to make their decision of if they can have it or not based on the price alone. That's a big way we've been trained of if we can have something. And so this is exactly what you don't want to have happen. And so a way to answer this question is by saying to them, well, I have a few different tiers of my program, and after we have the conversation, we'll decide together what could be the best next option for you, and then I'll let you know what the investment is. So, yeah, that's basically it.
It's so easy. So easy. So ladies, if you don't have a couple tiers, right, in your program or different levels, you can let people know you have a couple different options, a couple different programs, because most of you are offering a shorter program, maybe it's 6 weeks or 3 months. And many of you are growing into offering 6 months or a year program. So in theory, those are 2 different programs or 2 different options. And I love what Megan highlighted. Use that language and then say, together, we're going to decide what's the next best step for you. And we do all of that in these free sessions. And then, Marit, you just redirect the energy back to and how you get one of those free sessions, which is your next step to seeing if we're a fit to work together, is this. You just take leadership and you direct the energy, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Great question.
Okay. Thank you.
For you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, I wish I could have some chocolate right now. Hi, Nancy. Oh, what you got?
Ladies, I have a pretty simple question. I was wondering about timing of Facebook Live, your Facebook Live, because when I'm seeing all these things coming in through my email, I don't want to be on there for an hour. So as a person, searching.
Hey.
So what would you recommend?
Nancy, how long do you want to be on Facebook Live?
Oh, I could do a half hour easy.
Great. Do a half hour.
Nope.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Do 10 minutes. Hell, do whatever you want. Here's the thing.
Okay.
When you are giving what you're hoping to get, right? When you're in that resonance, you're like a half an hour feels good, then you're going to show up to that half an hour really feeling good. If you're pushing yourself to do an hour because you think it's expected or you're comparing yourself, it's going to be a drain. So show up with your aliveness and people will really respond.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Big kiss for you. All right, it looks like we got questions for now. We'll have another moment, but we're going to run through a few more handouts for you ladies because we want to talk to you about funnels. So we're going to do a little screen sharing right here. I think, Megan, you want to dive in while I find the online funnel map for the ladies? Oh yeah, here it is.
Yes, online funnel. So you have all of these handouts for your handouts for this month. So we're on the online funnels maps handout. And we start with not our not our notes, but we start with our free gift. There it is. So we start with the free gift, and then the free gift, just like we said earlier, can lead to inviting people onto a Facebook group, for instance, to watch a live video on Facebook, or go into a Facebook group for a series of live videos. So free gift to live videos on Facebook, to offering a discovery session, which is exactly what we were speaking to, and getting that commitment from Sarah to start offering the discovery sessions as a next step. So there's one option. Free gift to a Facebook group, to join my Facebook group, and then from the Facebook group offering discovery sessions in the Facebook group is another option. Third option is a free gift to a webinar. So this is more for those of you who want to offer the slides and take people through that slide journey. Then from the webinar to discovery sessions, or occasionally a paid offer. So for most of you, we're not recommending a paid offer. Your paid, unless your paid offer is a low price, low ticket paid offer. That would be the third option. And what we recommend is that you just choose one of these options to get started. One of these options to get started. And then we want to talk about a little bit of a simple website flow. So a free gift opt-in page, and I'm wondering about Serena sharing some of the example websites here. Let's see. Do you want to screen share those, or do you want me to pull it up?
If you have it, that'd be great to pull up.
Awesome. Okay. I am going
so ladies, a lot of this information that we're sharing with you is review. When we did our website training call, we did some of this. In the Grow Conversation, we did some of this. So what's really important right now is for you to be picking and choosing from the different examples that we're giving you and being like, oh, this one's for me. This is what I can handle. Just like Nancy O just so beautifully demonstrated. She's like, what might be the next step for me is a 30-minute Facebook Live. That's what I want, right? Not everything that we're sharing with you today are you going to be able to implement the first year of your business. A lot of what we're teaching you is for you to implement for the next 3 to 5 years of your business. So just choose wisely here. Some examples that where you're resonating. You're like, oh yeah, that would be my next step.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's some of the examples that we have for you in the website examples. And notice that they're really simple. So here's one that Sage had for download a free guide, the Dream Business Guidebook for Women. Discover the 10 steps to create your freedom business that's aligned with your deepest desires and clear the fears in the way of your vision. So this page and all the pages we're going to show you are all converting over 65%. That means over 65% of the people who are landing on these pages are clicking and opting in.
It's so true. And one of the reasons they're doing it, ladies, is because it's so simple. There's not a bunch of bells and whistles on these pages. It's one thing that they're being asked to do and one really captivating image that speaks to their ideal clients.
Yes. Well, I want to point out a couple of things about this page. So notice there's only one picture. It's not a bunch of pictures. And this is not even a picture of Sage. So this isn't about her. And it's not about any one person. It's a woman facing away. It could be any woman and opening up to her dreams, her freedom business, her desires. And that's why it converts so well, because women can put themselves in her spot. She's faceless. So that's one of the tricks for opt-in pages, having an image like that, which is great news for those of you who've been holding yourself back saying you don't have a professional photo shoot. and you don't want to put anything out there, you can use a hot stock image just like this, and then have your link to download a guidebook. So there's one example, and hopefully it'll let me go forward. There we go. So another one, here's one with Sage's face. So yes, please send me my copy of the $50,000 plus workshop blueprint so I can create income and impact leading live events. This is really clear. This is offering a workshop blueprint for someone who's interested in leading their own live events. And it shows pictures of Sage's live events, and you could use images, again, like stock images. These happen to be from Sage's actual events, but you could use stock images here. It's simple, just what is it? Add your name, email address, send me access. Whoops. Another one is the quiz. What type of workshop leader are you? So again, this is a more advanced strategy because you have to have a lot of follow-up from the quiz. But the hot thing here is it's a free 2-minute quiz. So notice it's saying that take this free 2-minute quiz to find out there are 3 leadership types. To discover your type, take the quiz now. Here, we're talking about optimizing your thank you pages. So after the opt-in, there's a thank you page. On the thank you page, there's a video, and it's going to talk about a few of the things that you're going to learn when you get the checklist, and inviting you to claim your successful workshop leader breakthrough session. So this is where you'd be inviting people to claim your free discovery session where you would take them through the grow process. So you'll get to see all of these examples in your handout. So we're just running through them so that you can then go back and see when you're saying, how do I design this page? Here you have a whole outline for how you can design it.
This is really hot, ladies, right? Because when people jump onto your splash page, oftentimes they're clicking really quickly. They want something fast, a 2-minute this, 10 minutes of that, 10 steps. But if they get past that, like they really want more of you. So having a video on your thank you page, now that they've opted in, gives them a chance to like sit with you for a minute. They're more likely to watch your video talk and listen to you talk about you and what you do and who you serve. And this can be done once. You can make this one video and you can have it on your website for years, literally, for people to get closer into relationships. So this is a really hot strategy for some of you who are really needing to reach beyond your local market. Some of you who are in isolated places where you feel like there's not a lot of your ideal clients, or some of you who are really, you want to fill your group program and you need more than people in your local area. These are really great strategies.
Yes, and I'm trying to go forward. There we go. Oh, I wonder if that's it.
Too bad I'm not screen sharing right now. I have a little ant crawling across my screen.
Oh. I think this might be the last one. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to stop the share. So there's a handout outline of all the different kind of pages that you could be, that you could have as examples.
Ladies, this month's library and the handouts that we have that Megan is sharing right now is really beefy. And what I really recommend, hi, Becca's little granddaughter. Oh, you're so sweet. What I really recommend is you ladies continue to print out the supplemental material. This material is for you all the way through the program, and I think it's about a month afterwards. And then after that, we're moving all of you to an alumni page, and the library will be closed. So yeah, that looks like it's news to some of you. So what we really recommend is you do the downloading, begin doing the downloading of the supplemental material that you'll use this year, next year, maybe the next 5 years of your business. Really, really important that you get what you need now. And this month is really beefy. So Megan, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or can we go to some Q&A?
Yeah, I think it's great to just head into the Q&A.
Thank you.
Bless you.
That's why I can't have any chocolate. It's terrible. I think I'm going to survive, though. I really do. I think I'm going to survive without chocolate until my birthday. But then after that, I think all bets are off. Yeah.
That's like just a few more days. Few more days till Serena's big birthday.
A few more. Just a few more. Kia, how can we support you today? I know that you are in the process of filling your online group program, right?
It's filled.
Woohoo!
It closed.
How many
Yay.
ladies did you
I've got my 8 new clients that went into the program.
Oh, congratulations. Oh my God, that's huge.
Yeah, I was super excited. Super excited. So
Now, tell us how easy it was. Just falling out of bed. You know?
it was like spreading butter on a hot day. No big deal. Yeah.
You were so courageous. I watched you reach out again and again for support as you were up against your obstacles. And now your present moment with your 8 clients. Please, will you share with us boldly or humbly, however, how much you charge for your program?
I charge $397 a month, and it's a 9-month program, so it's a $3,600 investment for them.
Her video just froze. That's so classic. Okay, share it with me again. The bottom line.
Am I back? So yeah, it's $397 a month, and it's a 9-month program, so it's a $3,600 investment.
And how much did you make total?
I don't know.
I want to challenge you.
3,600.
Megan's gonna do it for you.
Sorry.
No.
$397 a month.
And I will say
8 clients.
Two of the ladies are trades. So I have someone who's doing all of my branding and like my company branding for me and gonna do the splash page and the, that kind of stuff. And then I have another woman who is getting me straight on my financials. She's an accountant and is gonna help me with that.
Gorgeous trade. So you have 3 paying clients at $397.
You've got 6 paying clients. So it sounds like you've got 21, because you have 8 total, right, Kia?
Yes.
So 21,600 in actual cash money coming in. Mm-hmm. And then all your branding done, as well as all your financials. So you just essentially earned over $20,000, plus you have 2 new team members who are supporting you to rock your business.
Yeah.
So much to celebrate.
So,
One of the reasons I wanted you to just do the numbers, right? Because sometimes we just gloss over that. We've worked so hard to fill our program, and then we're just like, we're moving on. But like to really grok that's how much you made, and next year you'll give yourself a raise.
Totally. Well, and it's funny because I literally just finished, my enrollment cap was yesterday. So we had our 3rd call last night, and the first 2, that was sort of everybody needed to be on by the 3rd call.
Yeah.
And it was, so I've just been going the whole time. And now I'm like, this morning was on my calendar as the moment of like, I don't have to lead anything. I just get to be there. I'm so excited.
In your hoodie and everything. You're so adorable. How can we support you now?
So I've always loved the idea of a free gift. And I guess the question that keeps coming to me, and I think it could just be a really stupid question, but since I can't quite get past it, is, so I have this free gift, but if I email it out, it's already the people that are on my list. So how do I get the free gift out to people who don't know me yet? Like, beyond to kind of expand the circle to bring in new people.
Yeah. So your free gift is on your splash page, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of it is about driving people to that splash page. How do you get people to click on it?
Yep.
So one of the best ways is speaking and meeting people and networking.
Okay.
Over accentuate, ladies, how important it is to get out daily, weekly, monthly, and network. Telling people what you do, bragging about your clients and their success, talking to people about what's in their way, and then pointing them towards that free page, right? One of the best things that you can do is gather emails from people when you're out and about and follow up with emails with the link to your webpage and be like, go there, there's something free for you there. So that's one of the best ways to reach beyond your network, Kia, because you're right.
Awesome.
Everyone in your circle is probably already taking you up on that free gift.
Yeah.
So you will probably need to come up with some other kind of free gift that you are generous gift, right? That you're going to be offering your list. Megan, do you want to add to that?
No, I think that that's really a great start. It's really all about making those connections. So we were talking about those strategies of having more talks. And then it's the same thing as the online strategies too. Having your Facebook Lives, the webinars, all of these are how you reach out beyond your current audience. And another one I guess I would highlight is anyone you could collaborate with. So the interviewing of someone else or getting into someone else's Facebook group, where that's the biggest way that I've seen it start to reach out beyond your own audience. So
Right.
who can you collaborate?
Facebook group, right? Kia,
What's that?
you have a Facebook group, right?
I do. Yeah.
Awesome. So as Megan's suggesting, that's a great place to continue to record videos, do live, and offer something. And if you're interviewing someone, maybe it's someone in your program, right? Or someone in this group, that's another way to get that free offer beyond your circle.
Awesome. And then one other question then about the Facebook group, kind of along these same lines. Do you guys find that because I know Sage does a lot of uses Facebook advertising with her free gift. So when she has a new free gift, it goes out as a Facebook ad. Do you find that converts pretty well versus using, because I know sometimes I'll use Facebook ads and it doesn't really seem to draw much in. And, could be because I don't do very good Facebook ads. I'm told that might be.
Are you making an offer on those Facebook ads?
No, it's typically when I'm promoting like an event, a live event that I'm doing, a workshop or something like that.
So ladies, there's a big distinction between promotion and a free gift.
Okay.
When we're promoting an event, like come join me, that's not actually a free gift. That's delayed gratification. If they come to your event, then they'll get something out of it. So it's actually 2 steps. And oftentimes when I'm watching with my own storytelling program is promotion people don't usually comment on, and they don't usually get all stoked about it. They're like, oh, that's happening. I wonder if I should go, right? They're deciding. A free gift is instant gratification. You put something up like, have this 2-minute, have this checklist, and they can grab it. Talk to me for 30 minutes by the end of the week and have a strategy for better health. Right? That's something they can go, whoosh. Your discovery session is that free gift. Now, Kia, for you, I don't recommend that you offer a lot of time for discovery sessions now because you just went through that, right? Now you're in fulfillment.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But what you can do is you can offer a special rate to any of the people who just hopped into your program if they have a friend who wants to jump into your program. You can ask them and you can give them a discount on their second month of payment. Like if I get a referral of a friend who wants this program, now that you've had a taste of it, I'll give you $100 off on your second month's tuition. So you can use them as a way to broaden or like we said, once your group program is filled, you can also do a live and be like, oh my God, these women are here. It's great. We're learning this, that, and that thing. I have 1 spot left. I don't know where it came from, but here it is. Because you probably could teach to 9 as easily as you could teach to 8, right? So you can put that out with some free content, talk about how amazing your program is or talk about the women in it, if you have the chi for that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Serena?
Better than watching our clients succeed in small and big ways. Because as we're talking about today, like the real path to a successful strategy is step by step by step. Becca, I see your hand. Hi.
You've gotten really quiet and it's hard to hear you.
Really?
That was what I was trying to ask. It's hard to hear you.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just me, but yes, you are quieter.
Really? Even now?
Yep.
You were louder before.
I was louder before. I don't know. I'll get closer to my computer and see if that helps.
There you go.
Am I louder? Am I louder now? Yeah?
Yep, a little.
Yeah.
A little. Huh. Okay. I'm going to flip on my headset and see if that helps.
Thanks.
Yeah. I appreciate you speaking up for everyone, Becca. Was that your granddaughter? Yeah. All right, Jen Perlman. What you got?
All right, so it's speaking to retention. And by the way, your advice on shortening my Facebook Lives has turned my energy around. I had a first client session last week with somebody who's been following me for like 3 months and total traction, and that's lovely.
Oh, congratulations.
Yay.
You shortened your Facebook Lives from how much to how much?
They went from maybe an hour to half an hour, and I've been timekeeping and only doing 2 readings. This week I gave 1 extra and I extended it. But the community is there, people are showing up, they're feeling love and exchange, and it's everything I could ask for. It's just so beautiful.
Yay.
And I kind of let go of this whole concept of like, I'm not getting out of this. And once I freed myself from that expectation that somebody actually had to sign up and be my client, and I just really came from the presence of giving, I did a huge energy mind shift, and then they came. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I had some constraints. And so that follows into a bit of a struggle that I had with one client that just stopped in the middle, and my ego got really caught up in that. And I have a story about it, and I do acknowledge this person has trauma. So she just, when I tried to reach out, she did not follow up. She did not call me back. She sent me a nice text during New Year's, like Happy New Year, and I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. So what's your question, Jen?
So in the meanwhile, I guess my bigger question is, when can we determine somebody's really not right for coaching? Okay, because if someone is not going to follow up and return our calls, I'm kind of making an assumption like they're not going to follow, they're not the right person for coaching, and I wish I had actually done a better job vetting that in the Grow call. I don't want to beat myself up for it, but I have some other really lovely clients that follow through. They show up, they're excited.
Yeah.
One of my clients said, can we move our appointment up earlier? So it kind of helped solve me like, yeah, this is working. This program works.
Yeah.
So I would love that distinction.
Great question. Great question. Can you hear me now? Am I still soft?
Yes, you're perfect.
Great, because I can't find a headset yet. And Megan, I'd love to hear if you have anything to add to this. So, Jen, one of the realities is that not everyone's going to like us. They're not going to like the way we coach. They're not going to like how we meet them. They're going to have disappointment about what they wanted and what they expected us to be and who we actually are once we start working together.
Yeah.
And that just seems to be the truth. And I have to say, Jen, for me personally, it's been one of the hardest things to actually be okay with. That no matter how much I give, no matter how much I show up, no matter how generous I am, some of my clients will be like, meh. I'd rather do something else. And when I have gone to Sage with this, totally like hanging my head ashamed, she's like, yeah, that happens to me too. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, there's a percentage of people who go through my program and they don't start their businesses. And she's like, I don't even know why. Right? It could be they had a health issue. It could be that they didn't have the support. It could be they just didn't want it bad enough. But we don't actually know. And I think that's the distinction, Jen. As a mentor, if you give authentically to your client and you authentically do your best to have conversations and follow up with them, similar to what happened with Sherry. She authentically reached out and you're not getting them back. You can't force them to do anything. And here's the key. You're not responsible for their transformation. The only one who can truly transform our lives is us.
Yeah.
And we don't know where we are on someone else's path. We may be the 7th teacher they've walked away from and the 8th teacher they're going to commit to. We may be the first mentor they walk away from, and they may walk away from mentors their entire life. We may be the last mentor they walk away from. And after that, we're not God like that. So what I heard you say, Jen, that was really powerful was at some point you realized this, like you realized like in a felt sense, like inside you, like this client compared to my other clients who are showing up and receiving isn't there to receive from me, and I just have to bless her off. So that is a really, really important distinction, and it's going to happen to each and every one of you ladies. It's just going to happen at some point. So the keys are, don't decide they're done for them. Reach out authentically. If they're not reaching back and you get that felt sense like I'm chasing them, don't take it personal. Maybe do some spring cleaning on it with someone else. Like, I feel terrible, whatever you need to do. And then bless them off and keep their contact bundled with the rest of your list. So now they have a choice to come back around, because you're going to be in business for a while. They may come back around with a, oh my God, I really need your support. It's happened. Okay? Great question, Jen, and congratulations on your success and being so coachable to actually change your strategy around Facebook and get more traction.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, big kiss for you. Hi, Kira. I haven't seen you in a bazillion years. Can you unmute yourself?
Unmute myself. There we go. Yeah, I've been hiding a lot, and so this is a what if you're encountering resistance in every direction that you turn? When I have expansion in other areas, but when it comes to what I'm doing with ELA, it's just like there's anger, there's walls, there's stuff everywhere, no matter which direction I look, and I've been hiding. I've even been closing my camera off most of the time because I didn't want to be seen at all. And so now I'm turning on my camera and I dried my hair and I'm actually speaking up because I haven't done that in a long time. And so, like, what do you do when you're encountering resistance, no matter which direction you turn?
Beautiful. First of all, you do what Sarah's doing. Yeah, give yourself some love. So I want to say what you're doing right now is the thing. You're showing up with what's true. You're like, I'm resistant, and this is what it looks like, and you're taking responsibility. This is happening in all areas of my life, not just with my business in ELA. It's all areas. I'm super resistant. Yeah, that's the first step. Okay, big chest breath. Having coached you, I know that you have gone through great successes and clarity, and then you've plummeted into great confusion, and then great success and clarity, and that life is kind of like a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. And right now, it sounds like you're in resistance to what?
So the word that I picked for the year was connection. And there's something about not like there's two things popping into my head. One is like, I'm scared of, it's like I'll do this thing where I'll go kind of explode and then it'll go too fast and then everything falls. And I don't want to do that. And then there's also just this then there's like this resistance of like marketing isn't connection. And I know that not logically, I understand that's not accurate, but like when this call started, I was like, my brain's going, I fucking hate marketing.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. Raise your hand if you've got any resistance to marketing. Yeah, and that's what this call is all about. Getting visible, marketing. Oh, I'd rather die. I think I'll hide in a hole.
I'm like, I don't want to move forward with anything because I know that eventually that'll lead to that I'll eventually have to, like, it's like, why even start if I know that I have to end up there?
Yeah, you might end up in success if you connect. Success.
So.
Yeah. So Kira, I want to speak to the going too fast part because you have control over how fast or how slow your business goes. And one of the things that you're doing is you're doing, and then when you get momentum, you crash it to slow it down.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to suggest to you, similar to what I said to Sarah, is decide for yourself what kind of time you can give to connecting with clients. We're not all the same. If I connected with people the way Sage does at Sage's pace, I would totally burn out. There's no way I could do it like her. I have to do it like me. So I decide based on my temperament, my personality, how much time I spend marketing, networking, and getting visible. And it's not the same degree that she is, but it's the degree that I get momentum that's key.
Okay.
So Kira, for you, if you are in resistance to connection and getting visible online, it's not a problem. You can get connected and get visible in person, right? And you're really good in person. You really are. And that will grow your business at a speed that you can handle. And it's actually a kind of momentum that you can grow without it exploding. Because it's you there talking one-on-one, 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 two-on-one, three-on-one, or when you do a talk more.
Yep. So
for you, sweetheart, to find what is your pace is going to be key and commit to it. Because there's always going to be that one in you that's going to want to crash it. It's going too fast. Too many people in my life. Too many people to track. Is that resonating?
Yeah. It's too much. And it's also too much. You'll expect too much from me. So I'm just going to shut down before you can expect more from me.
Yeah. So you don't have to show up to that. Yep. Oh my God. I had this. I wish there was a name for it. I had all of these symptoms myself. And that's why I said, often what this is pointing to is our fear of success. I don't want to do the things I know I can do because then I'll have clients and then I'll have to show up for them. And I don't know how the hell to show up for 5 new people, 20 new people.
I don't know how to show up for one new person right now.
Yeah, I totally get it. And that's where the pacing comes in. And to make sure that you have your goal set in front of you. So Kira, are you needing to get paying clients? Do you need that?
It's not a must-have. I can go at the pace that I need to go, but that there's also the drawback of that is if there's no urge. So yeah.
So linking what is your big why to how many clients you want is going to be key for you to do that again. Now we did this at the beginning of the year, ladies, where you all decided like, this is what I want. This is how much money I want. These are how many clients I need to make that goal. And you made that, right? Your goal, your G in the grow conversation. So Kira, what I would recommend you do is return to that and be like, okay, I don't need to make money right now. And one new client would feel like a lot. Maybe one new client is what you start with. Because here's the thing, when you get visible with one new client, when you actually fulfill with one new client, all of a sudden you're teaching yourself like, oh, this kind of success I can handle. I can do this. As you're working with one client and you're helping them, Kira, and your heart's opening and you're like, oh my God, I'm making a difference in this person's life. That starts feeding you. You're like, oh, this is not as overwhelming as I thought. Actually, I love being in service. And then another client will come to you because you're lit up. They're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm helping this woman and she's like getting rid of this and she's doing, I love it. And they're like, wow, do you see clients? You're like, well, yeah, I do. And then another one comes in, right? And then at some point, Kira, you'll have 4 or 5 paying clients and you will have grown your capacity to be with them and be in that kind of success, being that visible on your good days and on your bad days. And your clients, on your bad days, Kira, your clients pull you forward into good days. I can't tell you how many mornings I've woken up and I'm like, I shouldn't be teaching anyone anything. I want to stay in my hoodie all day and I don't, right? How many days that 1 hour with a client who is super struggling and I happen to be there holding space for her and she has an aha, that changes the rest of my day. The rest of my day. And I know that in your heart, Kira, that you have so much compassion for the human experience. You've been through so much and you've climbed so many mountains that if you were with someone 1 hour a day and they were just like, oh my God, Kira, you are a godsend, that something would shift all around being seen. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being so vulnerable and brave to share what your resistance is looking like. And then taking that big breath and being like, yeah, and I'm going to go beyond that with just one other.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Big kiss for you. Everyone feel that one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's in Kira is in all of us, which is in all human beings. We don't always feel like showing up because we're not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. And I'd love to add one thing to this because I totally relate to everything Serena was saying, that there are so many days where I feel like I would rather just stay in my hoodie. I don't think that I want to do this. I don't think I want to be in front of people, and all that same resistance that you're speaking to, Kira. And the biggest thing that's brought me back is, of course, like Serena said, my personal why. And even more than that is, I'm curious what the transformation is that you really believe in, Kira. Like, why do you want to help people at all?
I want to help reduce suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the simple answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So helping reduce suffering, would that be worth it to you to do something that's uncomfortable, like getting in front of the camera, like speaking about what you believe in, like reaching out to a potential client? If you knew you could help reduce one person's suffering, would it be worth it?
That's an interesting question. And the first thing that pops into my head is, I don't think I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that would be a great thing to do a spring cleaning on.
Which part specifically?
Like that, I don't think I can reduce the suffering.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if that's your bigger mission, which we're always encouraging you to tap into your why on both sides, the generous why of why you're doing what you're doing, and then also the why for you personally of what it's going to create for your life. These things can come up as resistance. But when you start to get, like Serena was saying, that one client and you know you're making a difference, it's something that's bigger than you. That's when things start to shift, because we're all in our own spin out cycles of challenge and suffering and struggle. But when we get on the phone or get in front of that one person and we actually feel like, oh, wow, I actually did make a difference today. I thought that I couldn't get out of my pajamas, but this person is saying I made a difference. Then it starts to shift our thinking. So a big piece is starting to be willing to get out of our own way. Yeah. And Yeah, so spring cleaning on that would
Okay.
be great.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And Kira, there are people you've already helped out of suffering. I would recommend you spend some time with those people.
Yeah.
Just ask them, just tell them, like, I sometimes I feel like I can't have an impact on anyone suffering. Is that true with you? And take those valuable testimonials of the people that you have helped and keep them close. Like, Kira, you're one of the people that I hold close in my life when I feel like I'm not making a difference. And I go back to when you were in the universe and you came to me, and like what you're doing now. Like, you're one of those people that when I feel like I can't do it, I call you to my head. Yeah. And so there's people out there that you've helped that you need to recall over and over. And ladies, every one of you has one person in your life where you can go back and be like, I know that when I showed up for them, that was a pivotal moment in their life. Each of you have one of those people. And I recommend keeping their image or their story or some piece of them close. Because think about it. Some people's lives depend on an act of kindness, and that has come from us. And we're all here, like Kira, to end suffering in some ways. Otherwise, we would be selling like Amway or Avon or something like that, right? Like, we're a stand for real transformation for people. And if you're going to change your ways, you're going to have to give up some suffering. You're going to have to get out of your own way. And that's what we're being called to do as coaches. Get out of our own way and stop believing that we can't. Stop believing that we're not good enough. Stop believing we're not valuable. Like that tape, it plays. It plays and it plays and it plays like an old record player. So when we're courageous enough to identify what is the tape, I can't. Divulge that, do some spring cleaning with someone who doesn't believe you, but will listen anyway. Then now you are on the transformation track. You are ahead of your clients doing the inner transformation that you're now providing for them. And Kira, there's just like no way that you're actually going to make a difference in anyone else's life unless you're doing your own work. And you know that.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you're pulling off your hoodie and you're like, ah, look at me, right? Because you're doing that. So fucking congratulations. And for anyone else on this call where this is resonating at all, where you fall into that loop, where you're beating yourself up and saying you can't, like, that is actually the time to reach out. You're not alone. You're so not alone. Big kiss for you. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Let's everyone take a 7th inning stretch. Raise your hands above your head. Give yourself a pat on the back. Being an entrepreneur is not for sissies. It is for heart warriors who want to make a difference on the planet through our beingness. Congratulations. And whoo, Carol, what you got?
So I just want to see your notes page. We saw a little bit of it, and I'm just curious. I just want to see what your notes page looks like.
You mean the script for the call?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm curious how that would support you and Sarah.
We can learn from what you guys have there.
Yeah, I know what mine looks like, but you've been doing this a lot longer than I have.
Huh?
So I just want to see how you do it. How do you do the back end when you're talking to clients? And I saw a little bit of it, and now I want more.
Awesome. Awesome. I will share with you. Great question. Yeah, hold on one sec. Where'd it go?
And I can add in something while Serena's pulling that up, that one of the reasons we have a script like that is to have an outline, especially when we're sharing calls, like co-facilitating, co-leading. You need to be able to have something that you can both go off of, like you see there. Serena leads this section. It's all clear. We're not just randomly saying, hey, now, why don't you talk about this? So we have some structure.
Yeah. And these scripts are outlines that we use that you will similarly use for your signature talks, right? So in some sections, right, it's really, the sentences are really clear, everything word for word. But up above, for example, when I was talking about delivering fulfillment, right, I just had bullet points. And then I was riffing off what is over delivering, what is offering a bonus. We talk a lot about in your scripts for signature talks, don't write the whole thing out because then you'll be reading off the page. So bullet points are really important, especially if it's something that you really know really well. You don't want to read off the page. You want to make eye contact with your participants. Another thing about these scripts is that we have the simple steps, right? So in your signature talks, when you're offering 3 keys, 4 steps, right? Organize your script, your personal script in the same manner so that you can help people move it along in a chronological order. Is that helpful, Carol?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. And then if you're co-leading, like Megan was saying, what we do is we often color code things. So at the top of our script, Serena's in red, and Megan is in black, sometimes yellow, right? Because again, we're flipping off the script, we're talking into the camera, we want to make sure who's got what. So when you're co-facilitating, or potentially you have a guest speaker on your stage, this is really important. You don't want to give your stage, even if your stage is a webinar or a telesummit, you don't want to give your virtual stage over to anyone and let them just talk at random. That is really scary. It's not so much what they're going to say, it's how you're going to stop them that gets awkward. Because most of the webinars and Facebook Lives are live, right? So if you're interviewing or you're having a conversation with a colleague and they start going and then they start riffing on something and they start going over there and your time is ticking, it's going to be really awkward to stop them. I've had this experience so many times when I first started. So having a script about who's going to cover what, how you're going to wrap up right here, right? Who's going to do the welcome? I'm welcoming people. And that's also really great for your listeners because you don't want to have 2 experts repeating the same information. If I'm welcoming you to everything and I'm giving you all the announcements and then I'm like, here, Claire. And then Claire welcomes you and gives you all the announcements. You guys are all going to fall asleep, right? Yeah. Clarity. Is that helpful?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I really want to thank you for asking that, Carol. And for Serena and Megan, you know, this kind of information, there's plenty of times I think that all of us don't realize how much work you're putting in and you aren't realizing it either. Like, this is useful to us. The time that Sage, we could see her back or her front, or there was some video she did where you could see she had all these notes all over the wall.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys pay attention to that. That's how she's doing it. And she's not taking the moment right now to tell us that's how she's doing it, but we can do that too. We can have scripts and we might want to create scripts. And so I really appreciate, Carol, thank you for asking that. And thank you for sharing a little, because it's a baby step that some of us might not realize you guys are using and that we can use too. So
Mastery, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mastery is invisible, ladies. The grace and smoothness is mastery. It's practicing and practicing and practicing until you don't need your notes anymore, right?
You backed away from your microphone again.
Better?
Yeah.
Thanks, Kira. Mastery is invisible, right? When people are on stage looking very graceful, it's not because they were born that way. It's hours of practice off of notes and scripts. So yes, I love it that you are seeing that we're not perfect. And that's a big part of why we're inviting you all to come to the event, right? so that you can see through what last year you thought was just like, oh, we're just all natural rock stars. We always just show up like that in our A game, no problem. Well, now you see that we're actually human, and we've done a lot to get to where we are, which is a lot of practice. And honestly, recommitting on days when we don't feel like it. Recommitting when we don't feel like it, practicing our stories and our scripts when we don't feel like it. And like you saw today, and I love the word that Sarah used, it was nimble, right? You saw me screen share on the wrong screen. And I had a really good laugh about it, so I wouldn't have a shame attack. Because I'm like, ugh, right? The nimbleness of being in the imperfection as a leader is really appealing. How many more of you like lean in when Sage and I are like, oh shit, did you just see what happened? Right? Because if we just did the whole graceful thing like the Wizard of Oz, don't look behind the screen, we would be less human. Carol, did we answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you. And that helps a lot just to see how you do it. It's good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So ladies, if you're doing virtual digital outreach through Facebook webinars, you can definitely have scripts all over the place. One of Sage's favorite ways, I think you guys have seen, she does it on stage, she has that flip chart, the big one, like the teacher one, and she'll have it stuck on the wall and she'll be reading off the wall. Megan a lot of times will have split screen where her script will be on her computer screen, and you don't want to know and the method to my madness is I actually memorize a lot of stuff. That's been my jam. I trained in memorizing 45-minute stories when I performed. It's actually something for me to work off of a script. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. However, I am learning how to use it as something that supports me in my way. So those bullet pointed, the bullet points on our script that I showed you, these ones over, doesn't matter, you know what a bullet point is. That's helpful for me because then I can tell stories about it, right? That's what I do. I take a point and I tell a story about it. I illustrate it. I'm an artist like that. If you're like that, that's totally okay. If you're not like that, if you're more like a bullet, you need things more written out, use bigger scripts to start, and then eventually it'll become second nature.
I just want to add in one piece about part of the intention behind having scripts like this is part of how Women Rocking Business grows. And we have multiple coaches leading and able to step in that Sage's hand is in everything. So she's created all of the structure for the calls so that if she's leading or Serena's leading or I'm leading or Claire's leading or Shannon's leading, anybody can step in and lead, and there's a consistency of voice that's happening. And so this is about creating a business that's bigger than one person. So for those of you who feel like, oh gosh, I would love to be able to go and take a vacation for a couple weeks and have someone step in and lead on my behalf, this is what makes it possible by having scripts, by having outlines that you're creating. So I just want to pull the curtain back on that piece as well, that it doesn't have to be just you forever leading everything. Right now, it probably is you leading all these components, but if a year or 2 years from now, you're going to be able to have someone step in. Like when I'm at Women Rocking Business Live, my assistant and head coach steps in and she's completely leading all the calls for me. And the reason that's possible is because I have scripts and outlines. I'm not just saying, hey, I'm away, so do whatever you like.
True. So true. It's so helpful. Mm-hmm. So ladies, I'm going to do a quick brainstorm and get us in some action on our topic today around a mini step that we are going to do in our digital marketing. So what I want you all to do is go over to your Facebook page, and I just pinned a post up there. It should be loading. There it is. At the top of the page, your mini step that you want to commit to for your digital marketing. One small step. And maybe Claire, you can let me know if it's posted because it looks like mine is lagging. It says choose one online marketing mini step post below. That should be at the top. And what we want to hear from you on that post is one small step that you're going to take. Maybe you're going to go live on Facebook and offer a discovery session. Perhaps it's time to put up your free gift, right? Keep it super simple. But in choosing, you're committing to yourself that you're here on a mission and you're going to reach out. We don't want this to be a big thing, like I'm going to overhaul my whole website. One simple thing so you don't get overwhelmed. Now, there's been a question, another really common question that comes in. I hope I'm close enough now. Am I close enough? Am I close enough? Can you hear me? Great. There's been another common question about emailing and how many emails do we send out to our clients? Because sending emails out is not a way to sell. It's a way to create connection. Creating connection builds our list. Having a bigger list allows us to make bigger offers, free gifts. By continuing to build our list and stay in connection, we then can move people into discovery sessions and into our paid programs. So how many emails do I send? Bottom line, you're going to send more than you feel comfortable with. That's the truth about that. More than you feel comfortable with. So one email is usually what people feel comfortable with. It's like a phone call. I call you, you call me back. I call you, you don't call me. I call you once, and then I stop. That's the norm. But in the email realm, we're going beyond that, and we're stretching ourselves to emailing more than we like. My first step from one email was to 3 emails. So consider when you send an email to someone that they're not going to read it. They're busy, they were going to do it later, they forgot, they got sick. So I always send up a follow-up email. Same email. I don't re-engineer it. I usually just change the subject line. In case you missed this, blah, 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 and I'll send the same email twice. And then the third one gets really sweaty. I'm like, okay, so they didn't open the first one. And then I bug them. I'm like, hey, psst, remember me? Now I got to send them a third email. Are you crazy? The third email, I usually change the subject line to something enticing, something emotional. You're never going to believe this. ... There's only one left. ... Something to get them to open that email, and I send a third one. Now you can send up to 5 emails to your people. We recommend that you send more emails than you're comfortable with, because the truth is people just don't open emails as fast as they used to, because people get a lot of them. And if you want to keep this relationship with your clients going, you'll need to send them emails. You can send people an email every day. You can send it to them 3 times a week. And again, you're going to decide what is your sweaty edge. What is the number, and you're going to hold yourself to that. But no, bottom line, it's going to be more than you're comfortable with. Now, when you send more than you're comfortable with and you find out that everyone isn't opting off of your email list, which they won't, you start to get the confidence. Now, what do you put in these emails? Number one thing I want to recommend is tell a story. People love stories. They love to know what you're about. Tell a short story and make your emails story marketing. Because people follow stories. They want to know how they turn out. Tell them what you're up to. Tell them about a client. Be real. And don't make it 2 pages. These emails are a simple 1-page email. Great examples. You guys are all getting these from Sage all the time. She's sending emails out all. Look at her emails and just duplicate her flow. That's a great place, and it's a great model to start with. Also, when you send these emails out and you speak to your clients' challenges, and what they want, right? You're setting up, again, the structure of grow. They're going to pay attention. When I send emails out for my storytelling program, and I talk about not being able to find my voice, having stage fright, having writer's block, all the things, right, that make me human. When I start out with that, people lean in. They're like, oh my God, I do that too. I struggle with that. And then they want to find out what happened. Those are the Facebook ads that get most commented on. People are responding to those kinds of things. So share about your goals and your struggles that mirror your clients, and help them close the gap. See how they can have what they want to. Claire, do we have more announcements before we hop off the call? I don't want to take us right up straight to the hour, because I think we were going to talk about a few things like coaching sessions and finishing strong. Do you want to handle that, or do you want me to dive into that?
I don't have any other official announcements, but I think it would be great to talk about the coaching sessions for sure.
Awesome. So Claire and I and Shannon all still have space in our coaching sessions. For coaching sessions, that's it. And a lot of you still have sessions. And I want you to know that the closer we get to the end of the year, our schedules get really booked up. So what I recommend is, if you don't know if you have any coaching sessions left, reach out to Shannon and she'll let you know how many you have left. A lot of you have gained gold passes, which are good past the end of the program. Many of you have speak and sell sessions that you still haven't claimed with me. Get those. Those are super valuable. Those are hundreds of dollars worth of coaching sessions that you want to get. And you can book those out in advance, so you can get on our links and book those. Don't let those go by, because they do expire at the end of the program, which is end of April. The other thing we really want you to know is whoa, I'm pushing the wrong button. What we want you to know is next week, we will be back. No, we won't be back. Where are we going to be next week? We are going to be.
You're going to be back next week.
We are back. I'll be older then. We'll be back next week for a deeper Q&A. And then the week after that, the 20th, we will be together at Women Rocking Business. And we will have a virtual grad day that is coming up that you don't want to miss. We do a virtual grad day every year. If you come to Women Rocking Business, you will actually receive a graduation certificate from this program. If for some reason you can't come, you will get that in the mail. And then we're going to do a gathered graduation, virtual graduation online. So make sure you hit all of those if you can, ladies. Because here's the thing. It's going to be really easy for each and every one of you to finish this program and feel like you didn't do enough. Right? Because there's so much to do in the first year of your business. And the second and third and the fourth year of the business too. There's so much to do. It's kind of like saying, once I have my child and they turn 1, like I didn't do enough to raise them to college. Your first year raising your child is hard. And a lot goes into raising that baby. Same with your business. So I really want to encourage you all to show up to the different completions so that you can honor what you have done. Because each and every one of you has climbed mountains and climbed out of pits of despair to be where you are. Each and every one of you, I've seen it. So we want to really acknowledge that, because once you graduate from ELA, it's going to be really good to remember what you did in a group of people who are acknowledging the skills and tools and qualities of your character that you unearthed this year. So please don't miss those. I'm hoping you've all gone over to the Facebook page. I'm going to see if I can get over there. Oh, look at that. Yes, Carol wants to go live, and Lena, she's going to get her free gift up. Jill's getting her free gift up. Eva's got her LinkedIn profile. Kia's refining her free gift and posting on her fan page. Spring is giving love to you, Kia. She's like, you rock. Sarah's getting her free gift up and making an offer for a 30-minute session on a Facebook Live. Yes, you are. Spring's on Facebook Live. Anne's committing to a Facebook Live weekly. Yes. You guys are posting. Good job, Kitty. More are coming. Take yourself seriously on those, ladies. Make yourself a post-it and put it by your computer, and when you get up in the morning or when you get back at it this afternoon, know what you're up to. That little mini step that you're committing to getting more visible is going to have a huge impact, not only on your day today, but on your week. Is there any last questions? Sarah, do you have a question? I see your hand still up. No, you're good. Any last questions before we go? Donna Renee Hopkins, I'm just going to unmute you and say, hello, sister. You're still in the game. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Thanks for calling me out.
Yeah.
I want you all to know that I'm sitting in my very own brand new office. I've just moved into my very own private office. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
How does that feel?
Incredible. Incredible. New office, new website. Yeah, I'm launched.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is huge. Congratulations. You are radiant. Yeah.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing everyone in a couple of weeks.
Good. Big kiss for you. Excellent. All right, ladies, we're going to let it go a little bit before the hour today because I want to release Megan. She's got another call that she's training at top of the hour. Megan, thank you so much for being here and leading with me. I know we're going to be together at Women Rockin' Business Live again, and you just had such a huge transition moving to San Francisco. So thank you for your leadership today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. So fun to get to co-facilitate with you, Serena and Claire, to get to be with all of you. I look forward to seeing everybody at Women Rocking Business Live.
Big kiss for you. And Claire, thank you for always having my back. Thank you for being here on your ball, bouncing your way. It's so appreciated. And I learned so much from you at every live event. Like, you have put in so much time into cultivating a magnetism to move people into a space. And as we head into our big event, you're going to be doing that with our support. You're going to be gathering 400, 500 women into the space every day after every session. So I just want to say, take good care of yourself before then. Shore yourself up with good chi and good yoga, because we are so looking forward to your radiant shining.
Thanks so much, Serena. And I'm so excited to be there with you, Serena. Megan, thank you for coming to the call today and seeing you. Excited to connect. And each and every one of you on the call, I'm so excited to dance with you, wrap my arms around you. And it's going to be an amazing time.
So ladies, next week we're back on the call with the Q&A, and this is what I really want to press. I want everyone to come with a question next week. What is your next step? And identify what is the resistance in the way. What is the story you tell yourself why you can't take the next step? What is that? And if you don't have that question, what I want to recommend is you hop on the call with one of the ELA sisters and do some spring cleaning. Like, why don't I get visible? Why don't I have a question? Like what is it in me that is stopping me from growing? Because what Sage says is that when we open ourselves up to learning, we also open ourselves up to love. And this is what we're doing. We're not here in this course because we're already masters. We're here because we're learning. And when we open up to learning, we open up to not knowing. And we open up to not knowing, then the love starts to pour in. So please come together with your not knowing question. I don't know how to do this. I think you told me how. I need this document. I don't know where the hell to find it. I'm up against this resistance. I don't know what to do with it. Bring those questions next week, and Claire and I will be back to support you in that. Until then, tell really good stories about yourself. Celebrate the little wins, and trust that if you were on this call today, your personal transformation is directly linked to your client's transformation, and all of that is being magnetized to you when you show up, get visible, and love yourself for being human. It has been an honor to be with all of you ladies. Please unmute your lines and give yourselves a big wahoo as we sign off for today.
Good to see you, ladies.
Good to see you.
Go post on the Facebook page if you haven't.
Everybody.
Megan.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.